You'll all be muted, and we'll unmute at the end so we can say hello and goodbye. And here we go. Yes. We have what we want.
Okay.
Over to you.
All right. Let's begin lying on our mats or on your carpet, whatever you happen to have. So I'm not going to lie down, but Margot is. And I want to be able to see you guys. So just make your legs sort of wide on the mat. Your feet, let your toes move out to the side and your heels inward. Bring your hands to your side with your palms facing upward. And then come to your breath. Notice how you're feeling today. Could have been a lot of beer last night, or it could have been a good night's sleep, or maybe a crappy night's sleep. But whatever it was, this is now. So bring yourself to the present moment. Just notice how you are right now. And take your arms now and reach them above your head. And bring them down to the floor above you. And point your toes. And give yourself a good morning stretch. And open your jaw. Let your jaw sort of expand. Give yourself a jaw stretch. And then relax your jaw. Good job. And then bend your knees and put your feet so that they're on the floor. You're lying on your back with your feet on the floor. Then go ahead and grab a hold of your knees from the front and pull your knees towards your chest. Make yourself into a little ball. Just pull your knees into your chest. Feel the middle of your lower back come in contact with the floor. Good job. And then just put your feet back down on the mat. With your left leg bent, take your right leg and move it up toward the ceiling. And then pull your toes on your right leg back toward your knee. Continue to use your breath. Your breath is your regulator as you go through your practice today. Unless we tell you otherwise, breathe through your nose. See if you can straighten your leg just a little bit more. It makes no difference how straight your raised leg is at all. It just doesn't make any difference. What really makes a difference is that you're noticing how you feel in your own body. And then go ahead and put your right leg down on the mat with your knee bent and your foot on the mat. And straighten your left leg up toward the ceiling. Straighten that leg any amount and pull your left toes back toward your knee. Notice that in your Achilles tendon, maybe on the bottom of your foot when you pull your toes back toward your knee. And notice that you're still breathing. Not just unconsciously breathing, but intentionally breathing. Good job. Put your left foot down on the mat. Both knees are bent still. Pull your knees in toward your chest again. Grab a hold of the front of your knees and become a tiny ball again. Let go of your knees and go ahead and roll over onto your right hand side. Just roll like a log. Your knees can pull you over. Then push yourself up to a tabletop position on your mat. So we'll just all meet at a tabletop. So in a tabletop position, you sort of switch your hands with your knees. Your palms are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Let your belly drop down. Take an inhale breath and gaze upward a little bit, cow pose. Exhale, let your head drop down. Push the middle of your back up toward the ceiling, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Couple more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to a neutral spine. Take a gaze over your left hand shoulder at your left ankle. Feel your right ribs expand. And take an inhale breath. Exhale it out and move back to the middle. Let your gaze go over your right hand shoulder at your right ankle. Maybe you can actually see your right ankle. Let your hips move a little to the left, your left ribs expand. Inhale. And exhale it all out and come back to neutral. One more time to the left and right. Inhale to the left. Exhale, come back to neutral. Inhale, gaze to the right. Exhale, come back to neutral. Good job. Come back to a neutral spine. Take your right hand and move it forward. And let your thumb face upward. And then take your left leg off the mat and bring it behind you. And you're making a really long opposite arm and leg sort of stance, a balance. And see if you can make yourself 1 inch longer. And then exhale, put your right hand down and your left knee down. Inhale your left hand forward, your left thumb facing upward. Your right knee comes off the mat. Point your toes directly down to the floor on your right hand side. Continue to breathe. If you have the temptation to hold your breath, see if you can just keep breathing. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, bring your left palm and your right knee back down to the mat. Inhale, left leg back, right arm forward. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, stretch yourself out long again, left leg back, right arm forward. Exhale, elbows to knee. Inhale, long again. Exhale, elbow to your knee. Bring your right palm down to the mat and your left knee down to the mat. Take an inhale breath, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Your head drops down, let your head just hang long. Inhale back to a neutral spine. Your left palm goes forward and your right leg goes backward. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale long. And exhale, bring your elbow toward your knee toward your elbow. Inhale, long. Exhale, bring both down to the mat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Come back to neutral. Tuck your toes under. Leave your palms where they are. Bring your knees off the mat and push your hips up toward the ceiling, downward facing dog. Your feet are about the same distance apart as your hips. Your hands are about the same distance apart as your shoulders. Let your head hang down. Your heels can move toward the floor, any amount. They don't have to reach the floor. Take an inhale breath here. Open your mouth and let all the air out. Inhale through your nose again. Open mouth, exhale. Take an inhale, look to the top of your mat. As you exhale, slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands. Move your feet a little bit apart now. So not quite as wide as your mat, but definitely pretty darn wide, wider than your hips. Bring opposite hand to opposite elbow and let your torso drape over your lower body. Let your head hang down toward the floor. Let the weight of your head just pull your torso toward the floor. So this is going to feel different for each of us. And whatever way it feels like to you is just fine. It's not a problem. And maybe begin to swing your arms a little bit to the left and a little to the right. Bring a little movement into this pose. And then go ahead and drop your spider fingertips to the floor. Bend your knees any amount so that you feel absolutely no pain. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Your back is flat. Your gaze is down toward the mat. Exhale, bend your knees and bring spider fingertips back to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to your shins. Your back is flat. Your gaze is down at your mat. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Push your hands upward and push your feet downward. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Maybe look down at your feet, move your feet a little bit closer together. Make the inside of your feet parallel with each other. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, standing forward fold. Bend forward at the waist. Bend your knees any amount. Spider fingertips to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on your shins. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down to your sides. Again, palms facing forward. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend forward at the waist, bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, push into your feet, hands above your head. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down to your side. Let's do this 3 more times. I'm not going to say a word. And you just go through this sort of modified sun salutation and use one breath with one movement. So connect your movement with your breath. And we'll begin with an inhale as we raise our hands upward. Awesome job, everybody. That was fantastic. I can actually see you on our computer, so you're getting the video from Margot's cell phone, but on the computer I can see a little square for each of you, and those that have your video on, I can see that you're actually doing the same thing that we're doing, and it's pretty cool. So, all right, we'll add on a little bit here. So before we do, we're going to do a little pranayama, some breathing. So take an inhale breath for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6 counts. See if you can make your exhale longer than your inhale. Do this all through your nose. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Inhale, raise your hands above your head again. Exhale, bend forward at the waist, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, a little different now. Exhale, bring your spider fingertips to the floor and step both your left and your right leg back and find yourself in a high plank position. Now you could alter that and be on your hands and knees, and that would do the exact same thing as being in a plank position. So you listen to your own body and do what is obviously right for you. And you could change through the class too. You could start off with the high plank, and as you get tired you could go to hands and knees, or maybe you could start off with hands and knees until you get loosened up a bit and want to go to table or to a high plank. And take an inhale breath here. Exhale, move forward just a little bit and lower yourself all the way down to the mat on your belly. Point your toes. Inhale, low cobra pose. Just come up a little bit. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, low cobra pose. Exhale, lower yourself back down. This time a little bit higher with your cobra. Inhale. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Tuck your toes under. Come through tabletop or high plank. And exhale, push yourself up to downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, let it all out. Inhale through your nose again. Open mouth, let it all out. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. As you exhale, slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands, or you can actually jump your feet up to your hands. It's up to you. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend your knees any amount. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down to your side. Inhale, hands above your head. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend forward at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift. A little different here. Step your right foot back, warrior one pose. So your right foot is a little wide compared to your left foot. Your back foot is at a 45-degree angle behind you, and then bend your front knee and put your hands on your hips. Take your right hip and push it forward and pull your left hip backward. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, go post your arms. Exhale, bring your palms and your elbows together. One more time. Inhale, hands above your head. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, go post your arms. Exhale, bring your elbows and your palms together. Reach your hands down to your front knee. Step your right foot forward and your left foot backward. Find yourself in warrior one on the opposite side. So again, your back foot is at 45-degree angle. Your whole back foot is on the mat. Your front knee is bent. Bring your hands to your hips, Push your left hip forward and your right hip backward. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, go post your arms. Exhale, bring your elbows and your palms together. Inhale, arms above your head again. Exhale, bring your palms to heart center. Inhale, go post. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left. High plank pose. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. We've been here before. Exhale, lower yourself down. Tap your toes under. Bring yourself to high plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, bend your front knee and bring it right in between your hands, but don't put your foot down and don't put your knee down. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, bring your knee between your hands. Move it up a little bit toward your chest. Exhale, bring your leg up behind you. Exhale, bring your leg through, between your hands. You may have to help it with your other hand. That's completely reasonable and expected. And find yourself in a low lunge. Good job. Bring your left palm down to the mat and raise your right arm up above your head or up above your body so that it's facing up toward the ceiling of your room. Exhale, bring that arm back down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot backward. Find yourself in a low lunge position. Put weight into your hands and lift your left leg up and back behind you. Downward facing dog with one leg lifted. Exhale, bring your left knee toward your nose, in between your hands, but don't put it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it between your hands. Inhale, up one more time. Exhale, bring it through. Maybe help it with your other hand. Find yourself in a low lunge position. Bring your right palm down to the mat. Lift your left palm up toward the ceiling. Gaze off to the left. Good job. Continue to breathe. Exhale. Bring your left hand down. Bring your right knee down to the mat. And bring your hands to your front knee. So now we're sort of in a more upright position with our upper body, but we're kind of in a low lunge position with our lower body. Take your hands onto your knee and push into your hands and move your spine back just a little bit. Give yourself just a little bit of a back bend. Maybe your chin can rise up just a little bit. Exhale, bring yourself back up to vertical and push your knee forward a little bit. This is the only pose in yoga where you can have your knee in front of your ankle and not risk injuring your knee. Bring yourself back to neutral. Move your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back. And then you might have to walk your foot out to the side, but bring your right foot forward to a low lunge position with your back knee down. Your hands come up to your front knee. We're in that low lunge in the lower body, maybe crescent lunge type pose in your upper body. Push your right knee forward a little bit. Let your knee come in front of your ankle just ever so slightly. And maybe you can feel this in the front of your left thigh or front of your left hip. And then push into your hands and let your torso come back a little bit. Maybe your chin rises up a bit. Exhale. Bring your hands back to the mat. Step your right foot back. Move your hips to the side and come to a seated position on your mat. You can look for a block if you have a block. You could also use a pillow or a blanket or a cushion from a couch, but anything you can use under your sit bones to sit a little bit taller. It'll allow your lower back to straighten as opposed to just sitting flat on your mat. Keep your left hand on your knee and your right hand bring in front of your face with your palm facing toward you. Fold your first two fingers down on your right hand, and your thumb and your ring finger will still be up, and so will your pinky finger. Cover your right nostril with your thumb and take an inhale breath. Switch to the ring finger and the left nostril and take an exhale breath through your nose. Don't switch and inhale. And switch back to the thumb and exhale it out. Don't switch and inhale. And switch to your ring finger and the left nostril and exhale it out. Don't switch and inhale. Switch back to your thumb and the right nostril and exhale it all out. Don't switch and inhale. Switch back to the ring finger and exhale it all out. Good job. Just notice how you're feeling now. Just sit quietly. So notice maybe a little heat in your body, maybe steadiness in your breath, or maybe unease in your breath. Anything is just the way you feel right now. There's no right, no wrong. And move forward onto your knees, and then move your knees to the side and bring yourself down to a child's pose position. So your big toes touch, your knees are wide on the mat. Your hips move down toward your ankles and reach your hands out in front of you. Maybe your forehead can come down to the mat. Continue to breathe. Take an inhale breath through your nose and open your mouth and let all the air out. Inhale through your nose again. Open mouth, let all your air out. One last one, inhale. And open mouth, exhale. The next voice you hear will be Margot.
Big inhale breath. Hands at the top of the mat. Lift your hips, pass through tabletop, find your version of plank, and push your hips up to the ceiling, come into down dog. Take the weight into the heels of your hands. Your fingers are really bright and gripping to the mat. Head down between your biceps. With small steps, walk your feet forward. If you like, you can jump feet to hands, land lightly. I keep waiting for Ned to demonstrate that, but he hasn't done it yet. Exhale, forward fold. And then I want you to come all the way up. Hands reach overhead. Push your hands together, bring them down right in front of your face. So if you have that laundry bottle or the block or a chair, we're going to come to pyramid pose. So right foot forward, left foot back. There's plenty of space for your hips. That back foot is guiding forward. And we're going to fold, just like all the forward folds we've done. Draw your belly to your spine. Keep that length like you use in halfway lift. And come down. If you have a block or a laundry bottle, it's out under your left shoulder, maybe just with your fingertips. Your right hand can reach down, touch your kneecap or your shin or to your ankle. I want you to feel your feet. So notice your heel in the front foot. We'll work just on the front foot. Press into the big toe mound. Feel your arches lift. And then attention to your back foot. Feel the outer edge of your back foot. Maintain contact with the big toe mound. One more breath here. Fill up and exhale out. Let an inhale breath bring you up to standing. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. Push your hands down. So our legs have been straight. I want you to bend into the front leg now. We've just switched into warrior one posture. As you exhale, come down, chest to thigh, fist behind you, or if you like, tuck your shoulder in. It's humble warrior. And breathe here. So the difference from pyramid is you've bent your front leg. One more breath. You're going to need a strong inhale breath. Press into your feet, lift up, undo your hands, arms overhead, fill up. And as you exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Leave your left foot near the top of your mat and step your right foot back. Straight legs. We're going to pyramid. As you exhale, keep all the length that you can. Keep your ribs lifted away from your torso. And maybe you reach for a block or something that brings the floor closer to your fingertips. 3 breaths here. Let your body adapt to this new posture. Feel the sensation in your feet. And also feel the sensation, particularly in the back of your front leg. You know, your hamstrings might be talking to you. There are 3 of them. They make quite a good chorus. Let an inhale breath bring you up, torso vertical, arms come overhead. Fill up. And as you exhale, bring your hands to meet behind you. Weave them together the awkward way. Push your fist down. As we bow forward, bend the front leg. Warrior 1, coming down into humble warrior. Your chest can just meet your thigh, or if you like, tuck your shoulder inside your knee. Head down, turn your gaze towards your back foot. 1 more breath here. And then an inhale, really drive through your feet. Come up. Release your hands, arms overhead. And exhale, step towards the top of your mat. Don't trip on any of your props. Inhale. Arms come overhead. Exhale, fingertips down, step the left foot back. Warrior 2 this time. So what's different is front foot is forward, front leg is bent, and back foot is aligned with the heel of your front foot. Your back foot is just sickled forward a few degrees on your mat, so your toes are pointing a little bit forward. Everybody just settle here. Feel into your foundation, what supports you. Feet, lift your arches, drive your big toe mound into the mat. Hug muscle to bone, hug inner thighs towards each other, even as you're pushing your feet away from each other. So there are these oppositional forces that you can control. Reach your hands out into Warrior 2. Your torso is vertical. If you find yourself leaning way forward, straighten up, vertical spine. Just let your gaze turn over your front hand. Exhale into extended side angle. Bring your forearm down to your thigh. Left arm can rest on your side body, or it can reach overhead to point at 12 on a clock. Or it can reach out, bicep over your ear. Feel into your feet, feel your foundation, keep it steady. And most importantly, remember to breathe. Keep breathing. Press into your feet. Inhale, come back up into Warrior 2. And we're just going to step to the top of the mat. If you've got a yoga practice and you want to do that vinyasa flow through windmill your hands down, chaturanga, which is a form of push-up, and up dog, and then down dog, and meet us here, super cool. Do what serves you. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale into Warrior 2 feet with the left foot forward. You can make this as long or short as you like. There's no competitive plan to try to get that front thigh parallel to the floor or 90-degree angle from your shin to your front thigh. There are people in the world who can do that, and I am not one of them. So steady into that lower body foundation. Feet, muscle hugging bone, inner thighs work towards each other even as your feet are pressing away. Reach your arms out. Big exhale breath, settle here. Notice your breathing. You're trying to breathe through your nose, in and out. Find an exhale breath to dive forward, extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Right arm can reach to the sky. Notice the space you're making in your rib cage, in the space between your lower body and your upper body. It's an inhale breath to bring your torso back vertical, lower body is steady, and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale to the floor with an open mouth, noisy exhale. Inhale, come up. So you're in your own home. You can make as much noise as you like. Inhale to come up. This is a shake it off move. Exhale. And inhale to come up, arms overhead. Exhale your fingertips to your shoulders, please. As you stand tall, first feel into your feet. Muscle hugs bone. And as you exhale, twist to the left, any amount. Come back to center on the inhale. And twist to the right. Inhaling to center, exhaling to twist. Come back to center and to the right. Drop your hands. I want you to just move your head left and right. Leave your torso steady. Look to the left. Look to the right. You might wish to close your eyes so your eyeballs are just seeing the inside of your eyelids. You might notice a little crunchiness. You might notice your balance. Come to stillness. Stand into your left foot, kickstand to the right. Inevitably, you probably moved your hips to the left. We're going to switch legs, stand into the right, kickstand with the left. Come back to both feet on the floor. You want about the distance of 2 fists between your feet so they're really able to support you. We're going to do that again. Kickstand, stand on the left, kickstand the right. Pause here. Even if you have tree posture nailed, or you had it nailed yesterday, everything will be different today. Look across the room, find something that does not move, and settle your gaze on it. Draw your belly to your spine, and think about the whole cylinder of your core, your back body as well as your front. Up tall, heart lifts. Then if you like, just guide that foot up to your calf. Your calf and foot press together. Remember the settled gaze across the room. If you are stepping in and out of your tree pose, that is wonderful. You are working to recruit balance. If you are giving yourself all kinds of grief for your balance, see if you can shake that off and be kind. One more time. We're going to stay on the left leg. You might notice if you're watching, which you shouldn't be because you should be looking at that still spot across the room, but Ned and I are both stepping in and out of tree. Okay, we're switching immediately into the right foot. Start with kickstand on the left. Resettle your gaze across the room. Recruit your core, the whole cylinder, up tall. And then find your version of tree. You may have heard that it's a bad idea to hang your heel off your knee joint. It's a bad idea. Don't do that. So either to the inner thigh above your knee or to the calf below, and squash your foot and your standing leg together. Most importantly, notice how you're breathing. See if you can enrich, make your breath generous. Equal breathing. Step down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to your version of a forward fold. It might be deeply bent knees with your chest on your thighs, head down, and then halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Stand into the left foot. This time, raise the right thigh parallel with the floor. Point and flex your foot. Try to find that settled gazing point across the room. When you press your hands together, you recruit the cylinder of your core. Now I want you to push that foot behind you and tilt forward. We're coming to warrior one. Sorry, we're coming to warrior three. I can't hardly count to 3 today. We've done all the warriors now. If you're wobbly, use the back of a chair, use the seat of a chair to support your fingertips, a block or the laundry bottle. Come up vertical. Let that leg pass forward again. See how deliberate you can be. Put your foot down. We're going to get to do this all one more time, so not to worry. Stand into the right, pick up the left. Flex toes to shin. Find an exhale breath to tilt forward. Here's where your gaze might change. It's coming closer and closer to the top edge of your mat, but still try to gaze forward. Awesome concentration. Inhale, come up. Let your left leg bent forward so you're in a one-legged Tadasana, and then put your foot down. Inhale, your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead, and stay in this posture for a moment. Notice your breathing. Maybe try to draw your shoulders down a little bit away from your ears. Bring your hands down to your sides. Stand into the left foot, pick up the right. Press your right foot across the room. This is the very first lifted leg posture we did lying on our backs. You're pushing your heel across the room. Try placing your hands either together or on your hips and guide yourself forward, coming back into warrior three. So now your leg is pushing away behind you, standing on the left. Make that lifted leg straight and strong, just like you had it first thing this morning. And if you like, reach your arms forward, biceps near your ears. Breathe here. Notice your breathing. Inhale to come up. Exhale to put both feet on the floor. Give yourself a smile. Stand into the right foot. As you lift the left leg, you're going to push it forward. So it's going to start out straight, pushing across the room. Your gaze is across the room. Your breath is moving. You believe in the strength of your standing leg. You believe in your balance. And then push that left foot behind you. Choose the hand posture that you think works for you on this leg. Really make your lifted leg straight and strong. Toes are flexed towards your shin. If you like, reach your arms out in front. That's the full expression of warrior three. Appreciate all the adjustments your standing leg is making. Inhale, stand up with deliberation. Put your left foot down. Reach your arms overhead. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Drop your hands. Everybody find your way to a seat. Often we say find a comfortable seat. For you that might be the couch, a chair, your back up against the wall. For me it's sitting on a block, so my hips are higher than my knees. Place both arms behind your back, just so you feel your forearms against the small of your back. See if you can just bring your chest up a little taller, draw your shoulder blades together, and release your hands. Make small circles with your fingers. If your shoulders are cranky, you do this move right here in front of your body, like you were winding or unwinding something. If your shoulders aren't so cranky, draw each hand rhythmically over the top of your head. We sometimes refer to this as the backstroke. So, steady seat, belly is drawn in, shorten the distance from your pubic bone to your belly button. Your spine is tall and straight. Your breath is moving. You can pick up the pace. Your arms are crossing the midline of your body, so they're interrupting your gaze. And your shoulders are getting some action. Come to stillness. Let your hands lie on your thighs. Soft, soft gaze. Reach your legs straight out in front of you. You might find it comfortable to continue to perch on something smaller than a block, maybe a rolled up blanket or a pleat in your mat. Pick up your right leg. Put your right foot outside of your left knee. Flex your left toes vigorously towards the left kneecap. You can grip your right shin any way you like. So hands, pull yourself up taller. You might have to move some flesh out of the way a little bit. And then try to nestle your knee into the front of your elbow. Or if you like, you can draw your upper arm to your thigh. I'm a fan of the elbow hug. Right arm reaches up, make space, and then cast your right arm behind you and your gaze behind you. Notice if you're breathing in this seated twist. Inhale to come back to center. Unwind your legs. We'll stay here for a moment. Put a little bend in the back of your knees. You might notice you rock right forward on your sitting bones. Reach forward and down. You can fold any way you like. It's not a collapse, it's a fold. You can sense your breath when you're compressed against your thighs, the physicality of it. Inhale to come up. Arms can reach overhead. Remind your spine to get long. And then pick up the left leg, left foot outside the right knee. Flex the right toes towards your shin. See if you can keep that throughout this seated twist. Hands to the front of your shin. Anything that's in the way between your thigh and your body, reach forward. In some fashion, hug that thigh towards your body so you can twist to the left. An inhale breath to make your spine long and an exhale breath to twist to your left. If you liked the sensation of rotating your head on your cervical spine, chin, shoulder to shoulder. This is a great place to do that action. It's a great place to cross the midline of your body. It's a really subtle recruitment of the entirety of your nervous system. When you're ready, unwind yourself. Arms overhead again. And as you exhale, hands come to the back of your thighs. We're actually going to do something that requires some effort. Come to boat pose. So you're balancing on your pelvis. Boat pose can be with feet down on the floor or feet off the floor. You notice you got to really recruit your core. If you like, you can lift your shins parallel with the floor. You can release your hands. I want you to breathe here. Yes, you're working. It's not quite the most relaxing part of the practice you might have anticipated, but it's a great way to remind yourself how strong you are. Put your feet down. You're all going to come to Shavasana. Those of you who have work that calls, or children that need attention, or homeschooling that must be attended to, or pets that need to go out, we love you. We're glad you joined us. Those of you who can stay, it's Shavasana time. Legs as wide as the outer edges of your mat. Hands down at your side. Press your upper arms into the mat, allowing you some space to tuck your shoulders together. Notice your heart rise. Notice how the occipital bones in the back of your head feel against the mat. You can let the attention you've given your breath fade, unless your brain is really busy. And then you might want to count your breaths. Gravity is holding you in place. Yawn your jaw open. We end where we began. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Inhale your arms overhead. Reach behind you. Reach from toe tips to fingertips. Feel the life force flood into your body with each breath. Make them big. Roll your hands out, make fists. Feel the skin really stretch across your palms. Roll your ankles in every direction that you can. Point and flex your toes. Try to make space between your toes. And then draw your heels towards your sitting bones and your knees towards the ceiling. Roll over onto whatever side's comfortable and pause there. Maybe keep your eyes closed. Use your arm like a pillow. Just pause. Using your upper hand, press up into a seat. If you like, find that comfortable seat, whatever it may be. Drop your chin to your chest. And inhale your chin to your right shoulder. Drop your chin to your chest. Inhale your chin to your left shoulder. Drop your chin to your chest. Place your hands together so you feel your palms, your fingers. It's a pleasure to serve you. It's a pleasure for Ned and me to do this. It's fulfilling for us. We hope it is restorative and creates resilience for you. Bring your thumbs to that space between your eyebrows. Press your hands into your head. Bring all that you are, all the compassion that you have to this day. Namaste.
Happy birthday, Margot.
Hey, thank you.
Don't forget that, David.
I won't. So I'm unmuting everybody.
Good morning. Sorry I couldn't get in. I blew it with the Thursday versus
Everybody
Tuesday.
sound muted.
No problem.
I have to unmute it.
And I'm doing one other thing.
Thanks, Ned. Thanks, Margot.
Hey, you guys.
Thank you. Okay, we just made it so that you guys can see each other more easily as well.
Thanks and happy birthday.
Hey. So Tuesdays and Thursdays have different meeting codes. So text me if you need some help.
Oh, that's the difference.
Yes.
Thanks, Margot and Ned. Happy birthday, Margot.
Hey,
Thank you.
You're
Pat.
welcome.
Take care of yourself, Pat.
Okay, give our love to Bill.
Bye.
Have a wonderful birthday.
Happy birthday. Take care and thank you.
Yep. I thought the moon set was pretty awesome this morning.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here today.
Hi, Eleanor.
Happy birthday. Have a great day.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Hi. Hi, Tim, Rebecca.
Bye, Greg. Nice to see you.
Thanks, you guys, phone. Happy birthday, Margot.
Yeah, McClintox, are you ever going to turn your video on so we can see you?
Yeah.
Haven't put makeup on yet.
Oh, there's Bruce. Okay, there's
Bruce.
Greg. Greg's muted. Lisa, look at Lisa smiling.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, Greg, it's nice to see you, bro.
That's pretty cool.
You're muted, so I can't hear what you're saying.
Hey, Ned, when you were doing that backstroke thing, it reminded me of doing double dutch with Leslie in elementary school.
Really? Oh, that's great. That's really.
Thank you, guys. We love this.
Yeah, it's great to see you all, and great to share some yoga together too.
I think I'm unmuted. Thank you, guys.
Yes, you are unmuted. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Great to see you, Greg.
That's great.
Happy birthday, Margot.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to the rest of you guys. Lisa, great to see you in Wyoming.
Yeah. Have a happy birthday.
Thanks. So
Yeah,
glad
nice
you're
to see
feeling
you,
better.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give our love to Kim, Greg, please.
I will.
Okay, that's great. That's awesome.
And I don't know if you can see Matt, he was over on my right side.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no, I could. It was far enough away from where we were that we couldn't see that small. But he was practicing too, huh?
Yeah, he's been pretty good about it over the last couple of years.
That's
How,
awesome.
how old is he now?
He is 11.
Okay.
Just
Wow.
anymore. But he got distracted by the dog, so.
That's okay. Yoga can come in small bites and packages, and you can take it anywhere. You already know that, so it's a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you guys again. We'll join you Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
See you then.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Take care.
Take
You
care.
too.
You too. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go.
Okay.